Envy does not stand alone. Envy has to bring the support of other people, deception of other people, so that they will join in the campaign to bring the righteous down, and to bring righteousness and holiness down from the midst of the people of God. It says in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, here reading from verse 20, 2 Corinthians 12, verse 25, fear, Paul the apostle said, lest when I come, I shall not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not. What did he mean by that? He said, I'm afraid what I'm hearing of you, that envy is coming in and is eating up the fabric of the holiness life you ought to have. I'm afraid when I come to you, I will be seeing what I do not desire. And when I see what I do not desire, you will not find me like you desire, because I'll have to address those issues, and I will leave everything about positive, practical motivation, and I will have to address the envy, the malice in your midst. That's what it says. Go ahead and look at what it says. Lest there be debates, envies in the plural, wraths, strifes, backbitings, and whisperings, and swellings, and tumults. Verse 21. And then it says in verse 21, lest when I come again, my God will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned. They are fallen already, and they have not repented of their uncleanness and their fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. Paul the apostle said, you Corinthian people, all that you are doing now, speaking in tongues, manifesting gifts without the fruit of the Spirit, and you speak in diverse tongues, and somebody is saying that he's interpreting, and all the time you're hiding envy, malice, jealousy, fornication, even the kind of fornication we don't hear about in the world, that one should take his father's wife and mess up with his father's wife, and you are pumped up gifts and gifts and gifts without realizing the gifts will not take you to heaven if there's no fruit of the Spirit in your life. And you say idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies. Verse 21. Envies. You see, envies, that's part of that. Many people do not count that as anything. Well, why did they give that opportunity to so and so, and better than so and so? Why are they giving them the chance to do that? And they put this person and that person, and when they have chance, they want to come and see the leader, they want to come and see the pastor, and run other people down. Well, pastor, why are we putting this kind of person, that kind of person? And because of their envy, they envy that position. They want to run everybody down so that they are the only good person in the house. It's envy. And such people, they have a sin that will hinder them from getting to heaven. Envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before it happens, before the judgment day, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Would you believe there are ministers that have envy? And those ministers, they must still keep on preaching, but you can tell, if you have spiritual eyes to see, you can tell that the envy is there. And whatever opportunity they have, they bring out that envy. It's like smoke in a hidden place. You cannot hide that smoke, it will come out. The jealousy, the malice, the envy, you cannot hide, it will come out. Philippians chapter 1, we're reading from verse 15. Philippians chapter 1, verse 15. Some indeed preach Christ, even of envy and strife. Preaching Christ, the lowly, Christ, the meek, Christ, our Savior, Christ, the Holy Son of God. And they come out and they're preaching Christ, and they're preaching even of envy and strife, and some also of good will. In verse 16, the one preached Christ of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds. Paul the apostle, regarded as the great apostle to the Gentiles. Paul the apostle saying, by the grace of God, I am what I am. And the grace of God given to me was not in vain, because I labored more abundantly than all the other apostles put together. Yet not I, it is the grace that was given to me. And because everybody, all the Gentile nations were appreciating Paul the apostle, these ones came, Paul the apostle, who will see by the way. And then they will be preaching the preaching of envy in their illustrations, in their kind of things that they say. They were supposing they will add affliction to the bond of Paul. And it's all because of envy. Envy should not weaken us. And their blasphemies. Blasphemies are the things they say out of envy, out of misrepresenting what we teach, misrepresenting what they say. And they turn it around and they say things that we didn't say, and they put their own misinterpretation into what we say. That shouldn't weaken us. That shouldn't make us sit back or to be laid back to say, okay, if that's what they think of me, if that's what they say of me, I'll say no more, I'll preach no more. I will not go to those Gentiles anymore, and I will not do the exploits anymore. No, their envy shouldn't stop us. They wanted to pull us down to their level and below their level by the envy. And if we succumb and yield to that, we're helping them to achieve their purpose, and we're denying the Lord that has given us the mandate and the Great Commission. No, like Paul and Barnabas, waxing bold and said it was necessary that the word of God should first have been spoken unto you. But seeing ye put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. We keep on doing what the Lord has called us to do, just like David continued. And the envy of Saul did not discourage him, divert him, or distract